welcome to Stello Stadium in Nashua, New Hampshire, everybody. Justin McIsaac pinch hitting for, let's see, Pete Terrier, Dave Haley, Elliot Bless. They're all doing something else, but I'm here with WTSN, AM 1270 in Dover, broadcasting this Division II matchup between the Dover High Green Wave, right in back of me, and the Bishop Guertin Cardinals. Dover 1-0 in division play, 2 overall, lost 2 out-of-division games. Bishop Guertin, they're 2-1 overall, 2-0 in Division II, and go over a couple of keys to the game. And this game coverage, by the way, brought to you by Sentinel Title Services. You can check them out. Thank you for sponsoring this, by the way, Sentinel. For Bishop Guertin, they come into this game averaging 21 points a game, allowing just 6. Been feasted on some cupcakes, though. Their 2 division wins have come against Merrimack and Manchester West. Maybe not having their best years this year, so kind of the first real test this week for Bishop Guertin. And of course, the guy you got to watch for the Cardinals, Nick Marino, 5 touchdowns last week. I wish I had him on my fantasy team. 3 on offense, 2 on defense. Dover's got a key on him. And if you're Bishop Guertin, I think really what you need to do is force Dover into some 3rd and longs, because Dover's built to run, not really built to pass so much. So that will be the key for the Cardinals. For the Green Wave, they come in averaging 16.7 points per game, allowing 29 points per game. Tough to tell what they were trying to do those first 2 games out of division. Don't really count. One against Exeter, who's a monster. The other against Prince Philip out of Massachusetts. That one didn't count either. They need to contain Nick Marino. Obviously, the guy's a force on both sides of the ball. That'll be job 1. Derek Stegman will have to identify him, the Dover quarterback, when Dover's on offense. Dover, of course, they want to get Colin Shaughnessy going. He missed the state championship game last year for Dover. Could only play defense with a wrist injury. Last week against Spalding, 3 touchdowns, and kid's not very big, but he's made of iron. And of course, for Dover, a little revenge on their mind, maybe. They led that state championship game last year 7-0 before ultimately falling 16-7. So they'll be looking to get back on track. The winner here is going to have certainly an edge on one of the top 4 playoff spots in Division II. Should be a great one, and we'll bring you some of the highlights and analysis at halftime. Everybody, welcome back. Justin McIsaac here from WTSN AM 1270. Not only broadcasting the game on the radio, but recapping it for Dave Haley, who's not here. Come on, Dave, where are you? Anyway, very competitive ball game, 13-7 at the half. Bishop Guertin leading Dover. Both teams with plenty of chances. Dover was able to score strike first on an 8-yard run from Hudson in the first quarter, set up by a long Colin Shaughnessy run on their first play from scrimmage. That made it 7-0. Hurley hit Boudreaux for Bishop Guertin in the middle of the second quarter, a 9-yard strike. That made it 7-7 on the extra point. Bishop Guertin able to really a couple of momentum-changing plays. Dover looked like they had Hurley sacked. Well, they did have him sacked. It was a 4th and 10. Looked like they had him stopped, but Hurley was able to find Kevin Kiesick sitting down in the middle of the zone. And then Kiesick broke a couple of tackles, took it to the house. Extra point was blocked. They made it 13-7. Dover, though, looked like they were going to score at the end of the first half. Got all the way down to the Bishop Guertin 10-yard line, set up by a 45-yard Stegman to Seaward's pass. They tried one play in the corner of the end zone, didn't work out, went to kick the field goal. Snap goes through the hands of the holder, into the hands of the kicker, Rowookie, unable to get into the end zone. Looked like he had something for a second, but brought down. That's the end of the first half. Nick Marino, no touchdowns yet, but every time he touches the ball, he's gaining a whole bunch of yards. I almost think he's being saved for the second half. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm just a broadcaster, but I feel like he should have the ball in his hands more. We'll see what happens in the second half. Dover's able to kind of move the ball up and down the field at will, so both teams, penalties, sacks, shoot themselves in the foot a little bit. We'll see what happens in the second half. I expect a highly entertaining second half. We'll be back after this one to talk to the winning team on nhsportspage.com. Stadium. Bishop Guertin with a hard-fought 27-7 win over Dover. We're here with head coach Travis Cody and probably the star of the game, Blake Boudreau. Coach, you guys really were able to contain Colin Shaughnessy. He wasn't able to really get going aside from that first play from scrimmage. Was that the game plan?
Yeah, we knew that they like to run him, and they're going to give him the ball, and we know what they like to do. I thought we had a good game plan. We had him scouted pretty well, and we knew if we could take away their couple favorite run plays, that we'd have a good chance to win the game when we were able to do that. And
Blake Boudreau, 3 touchdowns tonight in a big 27-7 win. I was saying to you before we started rolling, those holes were so big. Well, I couldn't have run through them, but I mean, you were certainly able to run through them.
Yeah, definitely. The line played really well tonight, and I just tried to hit the hole hard, keep my head up, and it was all the line. And I just tried to make the right cuts.
Right on. And Coach, 13-7 late in the first half. they're lining up for a field goal after a big play. What's going through your head before they kind of misexecuted on the snap?
Well, you hate to see yourself lose a little momentum. You know, we just had a big fourth down completion. We get a touchdown, and then they come right back in the last couple of minutes of the half. And you hate to see, you know, you just had some momentum to give it back, and you know, fortunately we were able to keep them off the board, and that was a big momentum swing going into the half, whether they're getting points or we held them out. So.
Right, on that fourth down play where you guys were able to a 40-yard touchdown to Kizik, was the play just for him to sit down inside the zone? That's what it looked like he did, and then he did the rest.
No, he did. They just, you know, that really wasn't the game plan. He was supposed to. Supposed to take the wheel to the, you know, deep, but you know, the way he threw the ball, he kind of threw it back shoulder to him a little bit, and he sat down, and there was a void there, and we were able to hit it, and then he made a good play getting away from the guy and getting in the end zone. So
right on. So good read by him, I guess.
Good read by him.
And Blake, I mean, it seemed like we were here for the state championship last year on WTSN. This game didn't seem any less hard hitting than the last time, and you guys really kind of put the wood to each other. I mean, what's it like in the, you know, when you're in the middle of the line when you're carrying the ball through there?
You know, I just try to take the hits, and I just know Dover's a good team, and I just try to run low and keep my legs pumping.
Right on. Well, Bishop Guertin comes out of here, 27-7 victory. They get Bedford next week. That'll be a big game as well. Dover gets Winnicott. Coach Blake, thanks for joining us on NASportsPage.com.
Thank you.
And of course, our post-game wrap-up was brought to you by Sentinel Title Services. Check them out, and thanks for sponsoring our game coverage of Bishop Guertin versus Dover on NASportsPage.com. Don't forget to listen to me on WTSN AM 1270 and WTSN AM 1270.com.